Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. Apologies if the chat looks different. Right now, I am playing around with alternative solutions, and I have yet to actually fully set up the mix it up. You're lucky things right now are only coming through once. I was trying it out earlier, and it's like going up 3 or 4 times, but honestly, I don't. Also, welcome on in, Alania. Yeah, trying something new gets interesting. I don't know. I feel like I need to zhuzh it up a bit. So we shall have a look at that. Also, thank you. Welcome on in, Inu. Welcome in, Alania. Welcome on, everybody. And welcome back to, yes, more Final Fantasy 14. Yes, welcome on in to Final Fantasy 14, as I believe this is now day, I'm going to call this day 5, even if day 3 was not a particularly long time spent on this. And yeah, I'm going to maybe mix up our format a little today. It's still going to be Final Fantasy 14. It's still going to be the continued adventures of Alness, Lalafell, Punter. But the first hour, actually going to start off with one of the crafting classes. We'll have a look at that, because I sort of realised I'm going to be playing a lot of 14, but if there's one thing that you're going to need in Final Fantasy 14, it's a bit of the old cashola. You need some gil to your name, and while it will initially look like you're putting in money to these crafting classes, you can do some you can get some stuff together. You can also make yourself some armor and whatnot, which is also a huge benefit. But for now, we are going to be I'm going to be doing this, say, an hour at the start each day, and then we'll return to like the MSQ. I'm a bit torn on what our first crafting class will be, but we'll go into that once we get there. As for news, so I believe Potion has settled on our Undertale adventures for Sunday night. So I might not be there for a long time, but I'll be there for some time. So if you didn't see it, it did go ahead last week because too many people were just unavailable. But yeah, I mean, that being said, the big role for me is like gone. Like that, there are occasional Sans interludes, but there's nothing like the bit we just had. So you'll probably be hearing less of this. I feel like that's Sans, but I'm also feel like I'm ripping off Edith Slump from Quirkline there. It's just that very monotone voice. Yeah, it is going to be fun. Looking ahead, as I said, January is Final Fantasy 14, and we've made an amazing amount of progress, I think, for what is just over a week. In fact, it will be a week since we started it. So a week today since we started it. So I feel like we've done quite a fair bit. I do have one thing I want to get in order for our finale for that. Well, I say finale. We're going to be hitting the finale and then maybe just playing a bit more. But looking ahead, I do feel like someone at the Monster Hunter HQ has heard my prayers, because there's going to be an additional 2 weekends for the open beta. I believe the 7th of February, and I want to say the 14th of February. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is the next one coming out, and that comes out at the end of February 28th. Now, I am going to be using the open beta to see how. I'm probably going to stream it and see how we go with it. I want to do some Monster Hunter Wilds on stream, so we'll probably end up picking that up. The only problem is the launch date that weekend. I'm dog sitting, but there is a reason I have made this the remote rig. We're going to be testing the remoteness of this, but it may be that we'll have the March of Monster Hunter, and you better believe I will be grabbing people for that as well. Anything else? I feel like game news, obviously it's just like, the start of January, but I also feel like there's this sort of quiet like the calm before the storm, because everyone, we know that GTA 6 is slated for fall of this year, and you can sort of feel like everyone's hedging their bets on when they put out their release dates, because it's like, we don't want to be the people who put our release up against GTA. So you can there's this like calm before the storm, I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I want to get into today? Not particularly. Yeah, you know what? Let's just get into the game. Now, also, actually, I did put down on the schedule TBD for Saturday. That was in place for like potions, Umber Detail, but with that taking place on Sunday, I don't know if we'll do something on Saturday or not. I might have some plans with family that day, so it may be we have a gorilla stream and not a gorilla stream. You know what I mean. However, let's zoop that, and let us load up the Command C. Oh, okay. We're just gonna clean up the place. Thank you, Elenia. And let's go. Okay, here we go. Wait for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. Sorry. Loud noises. I did catch up on. No, I did. No, not this character. I did catch up on my post-end Walker MSQ for my main, and yeah, that's a development. So just getting a drink in there. Isn't it though? I know. I know of Bo in here, he'd be referencing the... You mean there's two of them? But anyway, let's carry on. So I did appreciate, all the stuff beforehand. It really is exploring some really good themes of sort of the fallout of that. But anyway, that is several years of playthrough later. How small? This small. Okay, I was talking about how the size disparity between male and female aura. Male aura, female aura. Good grief. So, what we're going to do is we are going to head to Gridania. Now, I am in two minds. I am just huge. Yes, just a large lad. I'm in two minds. The first one is, and there's nothing to say that we have to do just one crafting class, right? In fact, ideally, play as many crafting classes as you like, or that you have time for. Well, you can either be a carpenter, and carpenter doesn't really do much for the character, but it gives. Also, what I'm going to do while I discuss all this, I'm just going to go and quickly run around and pick up our additional Aetherites. Carpenter has a few of my favourite little money spinners. But it doesn't really do that much to help with the character. The other is leather worker, and as a monk, leather worker suits me fine. There's also another little bit I want to do, which is I believe we're at the right level to go and unlock the materia stuff. And materia is kind of, well, it is a very interesting little system for your characters because it's just additional buffs to your stats. It's not nearly as complex as the skills and whatnots of XIV, where it takes the materia name from. It's more akin to, say, gemstones in Diablo and WoW. But you will also be able to just naturally make materia from your items. And I think that's a very useful little skill. Okay, I know this is where the leather workers. I'm going to go with leather workers, actually. I think that's sort of my main thought. I'm just going to quickly grab that and that, just so we've got all of the Aetherites for this town. I've actually not done leatherworking on my main. Which I really should get around to at some point. I've got. There's also 3 gathering classes, 2 of which I've played and 1 I refuse to. You have botanists who, chop wood, gather plants. You've got miners who, mine. And you have fishermen or fishers, and we don't fish. Also, welcome in Verdant. We're just getting the Ifrites here and then getting started with our first crafting class. I really should pick up level working on my main just because. Okay, so now we've got all the extra little bonus bits, which is actually I find kind of a lot more interesting. Hang on. Come fish with us, Alness. We all fish down here. We all fish. Thank you, Nito, for 28 months. I mean, at this point, it's really just commitment to the bit of not fishing. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more relaxing than other fishing mini games, but what can I say? Also, I find it useful to get all the Ifrites here, mainly because you can then also transport to the airship landing, which in this city is also the inn. So it's basically a bonus Ifrit to get to the inn. Anyway, it'll get you hooked in no time. Okay, how to delete somebody else's subscription. Okay. Greetings and welcome to the Leather Workers Guild. Here we produce the finest leather goods, taking care to honour the lives which were sacrificed for their creation. Our leather armour is worn by the archers and lancers of this great nation, and favoured by all who prefer that their protection does not come at a cost to mobility. If you wish to place an order, I bid you visit Fen Eel Fineries. If, on the other hand, you have a mind to join our guild, I should be happy to assist you. Might you be interested in becoming a leather worker? Yes. Wait, no, I did not want to do that. Bitch, why? You only see an interesting emote, and it turns out it's just a little bit too big for the chat box. Nothing made me happier to welcome a new initiate into our ranks. However, it's first essential to understand the burden that every leather worker must bear. As you cannot have failed to notice, the Twelvewood is blessed with an abundance of life, and we Gridanians have long hunted the forest creatures for nourishment and clothing. But Gridania is unlike any other place. The elementals that watch over the Twelvewood have never looked kindly upon the taking of life, and those who flout their governance do so at their own peril. The elementals decree that life should not be taken without due necessity, and so the Trappers' League was formed to regulate the hunting of animals. The Leather Workers Guild was subsequently founded to manage the fair and equitable distribution of pelts. Nowadays, adventurers are a major supplier of pelts, and leather goods have become widespread. In times past, they were rare and precious. The Leather Workers Guild has not forgotten those times. We treat leather with no less respect than the living creatures whence it came, and craft goods of the highest quality. In so doing, we honour the lives lost and minimise the need for further killing. The forgotten benefit of our products surpassing durability. Our guild is also the sole provider of the famous Fen Eel brand of leather goods, the pride of Gridania. These products represent the ultimate expression of our core tenets and the transcendent technique which shaped them. Know, though, that being a guild member does not automatically make you a Fen Eel artisan. You must earn the right to become one. For most of the leather workers here, having the fruit of their labours bear the Fen Eel brand is yet a distant dream. That is the life which awaits you, should you choose to walk our path. Success will not be handed to you, but I guarantee that you will have the opportunity to seize it. If you wish to make a name for yourself, and craft goods which are the envy of all, you've come to the right place. Speak to me once more, if you've learned about the enrollment process. Okay, so yes. Have you decided to join the Leather Workers Guild? Now we're on to our first quest. And you will be given some shards and a knife. Very well, I invite you to speak with Guildmaster Gervo. She is a brilliant artisan, personally responsible for the creation of countless Fen Eel products. You've doubtless heard her name before. The Guildmaster's patterns are uniformly elegant, and with them even the novice craftsman can cut their materials with minimal waste. For her to decide if you're fit to join us. If you found the work area within, present yourself to her and do not waver in your determination. Ah, yes. It's a process of tanning leather. I imagine it smells like goodness knows what in here. So you wish to become a leather worker. You've spoken with Randall, then you must be told what it means to work with leather, and the weight you must carry, the responsibility you must bear. Not just to the elementals, mind you, but also to the guild. Our craftsmanship is unrivaled, and each member is expected to live up to that reputation. Once you join, there is no turning back. If you dishonour us, I shall flay you myself and make a Chocobo saddle from your hide. We swear to uphold our traditions and be the best leather worker you can be. Swear to uphold the traditions of the Leather Workers Guild. I do find that with some of the other classes, they have a bit more fun with that. Very well. You may learn our craft within these walls. So you seem ill equipped to do even that. I'll give you a head knife to help you on your way, but the rest is up to you. Do not presume that your association with us means your work will bear the fenial name. Until you prove yourself worthy, you'll not be permitted to so much as touch a fenial product, much less craft one. Now then, if we are to continue with your initiation, you need to put that knife in your hand first. Talk to me when you're ready to begin. Okay, so we complete that. And we'll get a knife as a reward. You've unlocked a new class. You can change this class at any time by equipping the tool received from this quest. When changing classes, gear sets will allow you to register and save your equipment. You may then use them to switch between classes instantly without the need to manually equip weapons or equipment. A button for the gear set interface. Yeah, okay. So, I've set this up ahead of time. So we'll go for this and then change this to the knife. And put on our basic stuff. And now we can just swap between main class, side class. Gauge your potential, Guildmaster Gavin wants you to prepare a circle of leather. Well, you've passed the first test, gripping your knife by the handle, not the pointy end. Now it's time to see how well you can wield it. What have you got there, Alness? A knife! No! Now see how well you can wield it. Make me a circle of leather. We'll need an animal skin to do so. Newcomers to our craft often imagine they need to hunt in order to obtain the materials. But if you have the sense God gave a Chocobo's arse, you will realise that's hardly the case. Oscar, over by a receptionist, sells most items commonly used in our craft. However, she cannot supply you with earth shards. That's it for my advice, the rest is up to you. Once you've made the circle of leather, bring it here to be inspected. I can't say I've great expectations for your work. Just see to it you don't waste good skins. No way with you. Okay, so now we have been getting animal skins as we've been going. So now let's shift some of this stuff around. We've got basic synthesis. I believe it's logs, crafting log. So here is Alness with a knife. Alness with a knife and Tombury costume. Listen, I have been expecting one of you lot to be showing up as a Tombury. So we just need to select synthesize from here. And so you get a bunch of actions which will either increase progress or quality. Progress, once you fill that up, the thing is done. Quality, the higher that is, the higher the chance of a higher quality item. Higher quality items for weapons and armor and all that. Will have better stats, higher quality materials, make it easier for you to have higher quality on your later stuff that's used to make it with. However, we're not doing any of that, so let's just cut this lever. Isn't the level ready yet? When you finish, bring it here to be inspected. See it score if you select the necessary materials. Have this lever. Aye, this is indeed lever, after a fashion. Your work is amateurish in the extreme. The lever is unevenly tanned and practically unusable. But you show promise. Well, that's about as much promise as the lever you haphazardly crafted. So was apparently paid due respect to the life from which it came. Had you performed any worse, I'd have cast you out without a second thought. But you didn't, so I won't. Also, I made a new character. How am I supposed to get the Tombury costume so quickly? The rest I can do is cutesy Makoti outfits. Yeah, if memory serves me right, it's on the Mog Station, so you can buy it. I believe it was Eva and a few others who were talking about doing a Tombury only run with some friends. I'm like, that sounds cute, but I haven't got the time. He says playing his own playthrough. But she's testing us as you did today, and I'll continue to advise you. However, you alone are responsible for your development. This is a business we're running, and neither I nor your seniors want the time to hold your hand. If there's only one thing that I wish I could transfer over, it's the trying to remember it now. I forget. Anyway. Apply yourself to learning our techniques and returning when you've acquired some skills. Maybe I'll have an errand for you to run. Next level worker quests will be available upon level 5. Okay. We get some more animal skins. And we get our first piece of armour. I say armour. It has no combat use, but it gives you additional craftsmanship skill. Okay, we've made some leather. Large leather. Okay, so that's probably best if we just keep synthesizing. Hello! I knew this was gonna happen. I knew. Hello. I do need to see what class it is, though. I'm imagining ninja just for the knives. Oh, paladin, got a big knife. Yes, you do have Tombury odds. I'm not going to punt the Tombury because I know I'm probably not going to come out the best from that. What I do like is the addition of the Tombury and the Tombury. Like, you know, don't speak to me or my child ever again. Now we have learned basic touch. Getting used to that knife I gave you? Gods, no, it doesn't happen very often. You've chanced to find me unoccupied. How about you show me what you've learned? Let's see you make 3 leather chokers. After all, there's more to our craft than simply tanning hides, and chokers are about the simplest things one can make. You'll need circles of leather and animal sinew to accomplish this task. Oscar provides sinew, and I'm sure you call the method for making leather. Yeah, the moment you saw this as a reward, you had to get it on the Lalafell alt. I hope your technique has improved since last time. Now we have an ample stock of skins. There are other means of procuring your materials. Hunting for your own pelts, for instance. I know what I said about that before, but I was assuming it was necessary. Choosing to do so is another matter. Indeed, it may teach you to appreciate the source of your livelihood. Not all leather workers will want to choose this method, but you're an adventurer, are you not? When you finish your work, bring your chokers here for inspection. Okay, so leather choker. Animal sinew. So we need to speak with you. And make these here. So increasing the item's quality during synthesis improves the chance to it will be of higher quality. So what I always like to do is give it one test like that, see how much it takes. Okay, this is going to be a while. You can also, because these are somewhat deterministic, you can always see how much it's going to be increasing by. At this point, it's probably not all that necessary to get these higher quality, but I always like to, just on the off chance, so you do get increased quest rewards if you do it. Yeah, we've got one higher quality choker. Yeah, more XP for higher quality. Yeah. There's no reason not to try for it. Unless you're just like banging them out. 1, 2, 3. They even tell you, oh, do you actually want to give them high quality stuff? I suppose there's no denying that these are leather chokers. If truth be told, an Oppo could achieve similar results given in sinew and time. Oh, I don't mean to make light of your efforts. You fulfilled the order precisely as requested. Job well done. Now we'll teach you something to supplement your learning. Through physical training, the body can be made strong and resistant to injury. Not so the throat, whichever remains a vulnerable point. Although a leather choker provides less protection than a metal gorget, its simple design makes it ideal for everyday applications. This simplicity also makes it an ideal choice for beginners practicing basic techniques. The guild masters are assessing their progress. Oh yeah, the characterization on the guild leaders, like, you know, this one is especially hard-nosed compared to the others. As you are, you would make a passable leather worker. one among the nameless multitudes who scrape to get a living out there. Whether you rise to become something more is contingent upon your efforts. Consider this an amateur's all, a reward for your efforts. You'll find an indispensable partner to the head knife as continue your training. Now I must return to my work. If you chance to find me unoccupied again, may I teach you something else. Till then, keep your nose to the grindstone. Okay, certain gear bonuses to stats. Higher craftsmanship means hastens progress. Greater control increases the chance of creating higher quality items. Additional cups increase your crafting stamina, so the amount of actions you can do. Outfitting yourself with the eye for your current objective will increase the efficiency of your crafting endeavours. Meaning, pick a... Okay, this is carpenter, weaver. Okay. And I do find it interesting that all the crafters have offhand stuff. Where once you get out of Realm Reborn, not a lot of the... I think it's only paladins that have offhand gear. Anyway. As a point, can we... Oh, we can make... Okay, I say we can make our own weapons. This is not a good weapon for us. Pot helm. Leather jacket. Okay, smithing gloves. You know what? We'll do that. So we need hard leather and animal sinew. Hard leather comes from animal hide. So let's go grab a few of those. And so I also appreciate this next ability, Maker's Mend. If we run out of durability and we haven't finished progress, the item breaks, we lose the materials. Maker's Mend restores durability, so now we get twice as much craft in a craft. Now, I always tend to find, for like base, for like crafting materials, you can do this a lot. After a certain point, I'm just like, leave it for the final product. But it's really sort of up to you how you decide you want to do these things. Anyway, this has a 50-50 chance of success, but it massively increases the progress. This is a 60% of success, but it will increase quality without spending CP. And again, it's like you learn what is and isn't viable. Like if I run out of CP and it's still not full up on quality and I've got some durability to spare, that can be worth it, just try and get it over the line. But otherwise, don't bother. I don't like rapid synthesis simply because it's that 50-50 chance. Animal sinew. And I don't like chances. I know that you can really get into the weeds on like crafting macros and all that. I don't really tend to. I have not really looked into that side of things because I've not been at max level in the main for a long time. So anyway, let's put this together. Again. 1, 2, 3 gets it over the line, so now we can start. Also, notice I start off with more quality. You can get up to half your bar full by using higher quality materials, which is not an insignificant amount when you see sort of what we're getting. Okay. Also, then I can... Ow. Do I... Did I not make those? Oh wait, no, I made them here. Okay, and that's level 10, so not quite yet. Water for all, thank you! Got rid of high quality base items because reasons. Yeah. Stuff like this you can't get base items, so it's entirely dependent on you making them, which is understandable. But yeah. What? Oh, little toasting critter. What am I doing? I can't equip that just yet, but I will put in the armory chest for now. Okay, just a little bit of extra work just to get us over the line. Okay, joke's over. Returning Tombury home. Putting the Tombury back in their box. Okay. Okay. And if I just the just come out there. Anyway. Oh, I could have just got those free. Well, at least it limits us to what we can actually get. How are your techniques coming along? If you honestly think you've improved, then I have a new task for you. Before that, let me ask you, are you familiar with the Yen Il brand? Are you not? No? Surely jest. I could forgive such ignorance if you were a passing adventurer and you would come to Eorzea. About that, to be have trained under my roof while I remain ignorant of the most coveted brand of leather goods in all the realm. It boggles the mind. Anyway, all goods sold under the distinguished Fen Il name are crafted by none other than our leather workers. We've been asked to fill an especially large order on short notice, and so our stores of hard leather are nearly depleted. Just considering how best to handle the situation when you arrived. I'm sure you see where this is going. We need a dozen circles of hard leather as fast as you can make them. Quickly, now go. Yeah, do you think I have the money for your brand? Now, we now have a new option open up to us. Quick synthesis. Let me get another 4 of these. It's like I'm getting my armor from, you know, dead pirates and fishmen. Do you think I have the money for this? The quick synthesis, rather than doing all that, if I've made it before, I can just have the game make the rest for this. Make it for me. There's a chance you might get higher quality, but on the whole, it just makes it as normal quality stuff. For your sake, you're getting the base goods. And he'll just make it 1v1. Quick synth used to not give full XP. Ah, I did not know that. That being said, you know, it's like the difference between making all of this, which, you know, probably didn't give that much XP in the first place. Okay. I miscount. Oh, right, this is higher quality. I can convert it down if I want, but honestly, high quality stuff is nice to have. You know? If like a quarter of the XP. Please tell me you've bought the hard leather. Here you go, all of it. Well, well, these are better than I expected. It's more difficult to boil leather than it is to tan it. The process results in a much stronger, more durable product. These properties make hard leather the material of choice for those who prefer stouter armour. The fruits of your labour shall serve the guild well, as training materials for new initiates. You seem troubled. Surely you did not imagine that your leather would be used in the construction of fenil goods. Oh, gods, no. Only our elite leather workers, hand-picked by me, are permitted to make wares that bear the fenil name. While we had enough hard leather to complete the fenil commissions, some of the materials used, despite being of excellent quality, were originally intended to be distributed as practice materials. As such, the initiate supplies ran dangerously low. Come now, there's no need call to be disheartened. You're not seeing that in furnishing the beginners with supplies, you've proven that you're no longer a beginner. You have given them that which they could not make themselves. All I'm saying is you never gave me any of this stuff. When you first arrived, I would never entrusted you with such a task. Make no mistake, you are improving. Why, at this rate, my great-great-grandchildren might yet commission you to make a shoe sole, or even two. Speaking of commissions, I think you might have proven yourself sufficiently skilled to handle orders without my supervision. Go and see Gontrance in the Carline Canopy if you're interested in taking a few guild leaves. You'll gain much needed experience and earn yourself some coin, but besides. But enough chatter. Come and see me again when you've further refined your technique. Oh, and if you make it during my lifetime, I dare say you'll find me in a more talkative mood. And we can pop on all this extra stuff. So again, level 15. Can we get that? Can we get to that? Furthermore, can we get hard leather shoes? Anything else for our bits and pieces? A jacket, bills, woo. Thigh boots, undyed hempen cloth and rubber. That, yes. That, yes. And that lets us make our own booties. Breathe 2 of these. Yeah, culinary is more entertaining in a one animation fits all situation. It's like, yes, I am doing, everything is just sauteed in a pan. Ice cream is sauteed in a pan. Fruit juice sauteed in a pan. Bread is sauteed in the pan. You see, you're getting it. You also get some like special, like you can make. There's also a limited amount of furniture you can make, which you don't get to sell these for all that much. But with one exception that I always love for carpenter, because people love to buy bookshelves from carpenters for the housing. It's just like that's my money spinner. If you are leveling up and you have carpenter, make bookshelves, sell the bookshelves. People love bookshelves. Which I know I've kind of broken the rule of any crafter is don't tell people what you're using to craft or to make money crafting with. But anything else I can make for crafting class? No. Well, we're out of hide there. Doesn't sell anything on the market, still has millions, still has no idea how. You know what? Sometimes if you just minimize the expenditure, you will just accrue money. Whereas I'm sat here on the hustle culture. Okay, you know what? Let's just make a few bits. Bronze ingot. One, two. I'm gonna go 3. Yeah, not take us over. Spoilers, you should have seen me when I decided I was going to buy a house in this game. It was just like suddenly, any way you can make money, I am making that money. Right. I need some more animal hide. And just fixing for all of it. You still get like, as you can see, you will still get chance of higher quality. Also, ads are about to start in a minute for those of you who are subject to ads. So, look, we're just doing this. Come on. Okay. Material condition is a new factor. That's where the interesting stuff comes in. Okay. Hard leather chokers. Be sinew. So I'm just making stuff for the sake of making stuff. Oh, it's beast sinew. Okay. What's the difference between animal sinew and beast sinew? Don't ask. You don't want to know. Okay. So we've now got an ability there where we can just do nothing for one step. So you'll notice here there's a condition. If it's normal, anytime we do a quality action, it just does the normal amount. Also, just have a look. 1, 2. When it comes up good, we'll see when it comes up good again. Right now we're getting 75 quality. Oh wait, sorry. Oh wait, yeah, the quality increases every step. Hasty touch. I dislike doing that because it's a chance. Anyway, when the quality is good, you can either use a quality action for a bonus to the quality, or you get some other actions like Tricks of the Trade here, which restores CP. Yeah. Yeah, let's make some bootsies. So we need up a bar. Yeah, let's see if we can get ourselves to level 15. Yeah, this is what I get for just rushing through it. I missed those little bonuses. And in a quiet here, every time we do a quality increasing action, we get a little stack of this, which increases the amount of quality you get. So it's like compounding. That being said, there are also actions that you can take to cash those in. No point in taking in the good there. Okay. Fingerless hard leather goods. Right, let's have a look. So, old goat skin, alumen, yarn, lumber, fish glue, yum. Okay, old goat leather seems to be the next crafting material, and it's probably where we're going to have to start buying it. Yeah, you can see there, no shop selling price, so Those are things that we have to buy on the markets. Or make for yourself. But you know what? The market is just up here. While we're at it, we might as well see about getting ourselves some retainers. If you remember, Mintheria was very adamant about the fact that we can now take out retainers. Friend of yours? Greetings, I take it you've come to see me about a retainer. So we can hire retainers. According to our records, you may hire up to 2 retainers. Currently you have no retainers in your employ. Excellent, we've got quite a few men and women on our lists, so we invite you to describe the retainer you desire down to the most minute detail. No. So, there is not a huge amount of need to customize them, but what do we want for our retainer? You want Newies, Gillies, yeah. 3 hours later, Alness finishes character creation. Welcome back to character creation. You know what? Ellison actually looks kind of in that fit. Yeah, that one. I am not bothering with appearance data. No, don't. No. I can think of several retainers that fit exactly as you describe. Oddly enough, they have strikingly different personalities. If you kind of say the preference, would be most helpful. But polite, rough, serious, carefree, independent, lively. Polite. Very well, just leave it in your mind. When someone in this retainer will greet you just so. Yes, sir. What is your bidding? I will dismiss the retainer will bid you farewell just so. As always, sir, it's been an honour and a privilege. It was customary to give the retainer an appellation of one's own name, a nickname, as it were. We find this deepest bond between our clients and retainers. Fancy. Ants. Yeah. Oh, these names do get seen when you're selling stuff, but it's a sort of anonymizes. Oh, hey, this hasn't been taken. Fair enough. Summon a new retainer using the nearby bell. If you have any further questions or requests, please don't hesitate to ask. So, these have a function. We can either store items with them, or we can have them sell items on the markets. I want to just check something. Because we're in a realm reborn, new market rates. Okay. Okay, I can't do it until I'm into the nether zones. Basically, there's a tax on the money you make. There's that charge on the money you make in sales. If you send them to some of the other city-states, they get reduced taxes, which means more money in your pocket. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's see about... Am I going to make a lot from this? I always look at this because this tells you what people are buying things for. So I know it's not a huge amount, but let's put it down for that much. Why is the default Ellison just Orion J? See what Orion J looks like underneath all that? Let's crack the markets here. Come on. Yeah, I'm selling this for that much money. Whereas the chokers here are going for like... No, in fact... Shop selling price. That kind of determines the cap on how much we can sell them. Not the cap that we can sell them for. We can sell them much more, but you know what? Also, I don't know why I've got tin ore. Okay. Yeah, that's... We're probably not going to make a lot from that. But also we have the market board. We need to buy some old goat leather. Okay, I'd probably... Oh. Old goat, not old goat. Old goat skin. How's your skin? This is the part I really don't like about the buying things on the auction houses here. It's they love to sell them in bulk, and that's great if you've got the money. So you know what, we'll leave it that for now. We'll come back to this tomorrow. Worst comes to the worst, we can find old goats and we can turn them into leather. Trust me, I have done worse. But anyway, that is today's crafting corner. Let's move on to the MSQ. Back in Camp Dragonbone. Some members needed to fight with bots for wool. Another one of my little money spinners that I used to do, because I remember my first crafting class was Weaver, and just going down to the diamites and setting them all ablaze in such a way that once you do a full loop, how are these? Okay, I just got 3 old goat skins and a cut of old goat chunk. Yeah, getting the webbing. But the thing is, it then went from a case of getting the webbing so I could work with it, and then getting the webbing to sell it, because it turns out that's worth more on the market than the actual material you're making from it. Okay, listen. Oh, that would have enough. I always find it amusing when you get multiple of a thing from them. So that old goat we just killed had 5 skins, whereas this one has just 1 skin. Rogue Ninja is technically the best job for farming drops. I imagine so. Sometimes though, it's just whatever you've got on you. Yeah, again, that one had 5 skins. Was that how it has no skin but horns? Okay, well, you know what? We've got 17 skins running into tomorrow. Mug Dokumori increases drop chance on kill. I did not know that. Okay. Thancred, I know you're a wonderful master of deception, but we're parked just right next to the Malja Fate. Ah, there you are, Alness. So good of you to come. Honestly, thought they had removed it, but I happened to be on Ninja and it's still there. Wow. Just that they got a lot of skin in the game. Indeed, I heard all about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. See, my suspicion about poor Rose were misplaced. Well, false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were entirely without merit. While following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, band of Amalja caught my eye. Tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let's just say I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me why I requested you, dear Alness. Will you be so kind as to take a look inside? Okay. Well, here I go, bothering the Amalja. Oh, a queer leaflet. Hello. So what level is this? 19 and we're 28? Okay. Is that an old goat? They're more lizardmen than goats. These are old goats. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? Miss Leaflet, see the wealth of Nald, the hands of your children. It's to be some assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? These bits about Nald Thal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let's see what Sister Orson makes of it. Drop in here. Literally drop in here. You cannot die from full damage, but sometimes you wish you did. Okay. You can? I thought you couldn't. Have I been lied to all this time? My saviour comes again. To what do I owe this, the honour this day? If you're on combat, you do. Ah, right, okay, well, that's a different story. What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. It was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it though, weeks ago the church were plagued by missing garments. Someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? The plot thickens, Alness. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to give credence to his deception. And there's no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. Now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. Yeah, may have picked up aggro as I was falling. I love the idea of you just hurtling down to the floor, and some creatures. I take issue with this. I take issue with this personally. Posing as a priest, to think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Alness. Keep my eyes and ears open, now more than ever. What are we looking at with this lot? Oh yeah, this is all old stuff. Take the money and run. I'm afraid I've not seen any unusual activity, nor have any in this camp given me cause to doubt them. Unless we can identify the culprit, and soon more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Alness and me serve like with like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope that this will yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in the battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and socks should serve your needs, as long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Alness. So as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are in desperate point. This end, I want you to don the old garments as Martyrs lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest would catch wind and approach us. Okay, so we now have an weathered tunic and weathered slops. I am a perfectly normal peasant. Got any work? I preach the teachings of Azima, the warden. Hast thou come to partake the honey of her wisdom? Azima is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, dear needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end days. Okay, so you just preached at me? And you are? Another refugee by the looks of you. The immortal flames is neither work nor coin for your like. Begone and see to it you don't make a nuisance of yourself. Now, in here. Something need doing? And I was about to get to the good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. The Maldra worship Ifrit, a vile being they claim to be the Lord of the Inferno. They say whoever looks upon him must choose one of two fates. Follow him for life or be burned to ash. Not much of a choice if you ask me. West Hobo. I mean, isn't that just most D&D characters? Am I looking upwards for this? no, in here. Greetings, good sir. Is there aught I may assist you with? Yeah, if it actually gives people the choice. If it can go on at that. Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out of the pond north of Sandgate. Wait, hang on. I seem to remember there was some stairs somewhere. No, no. Not in here. Not in here, are they? How did you get up there again? I suppose there is one way. I.e., gotta get up to get down. Oh, right. Yeah, you've got to get up to get down. What is it? God, it's not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. Why don't you keep your own kind? Why don't you keep with your own kind out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? Okay, fine. You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Alness. As the camp is abuzz with the talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn about that the poor of a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, the east of here. The eyes of the authority do not reach that place, rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let's go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in disguise. Alright. My disguise still allows me to punch things. I can actually say my style of combat is quite nicely suited for this kind of infiltration. Like I said, at some point I want to get like the invisible weapon glam for this. A fine day for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? Absolutely smashing, Alness. Positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor, unfortunate souls. This is no way for men to live, no way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child. I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naldthal, and I come to offer you succor. If bears the teachings of Nald, trust to them, and they'll surely set you free from the shackles of penury. Tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made the God's awful mummer ungust. What? How do you know? You bastards tricked me. Please don't hurt me. I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. Very well. One man of the Golden Bazaar, raised there, if not born. Some moons ago, the Amalja raids began. They would appear sudden as a sunstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were, and lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I know. So I did the only thing a merchant could, approach the Amalja in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands. Outrageous ones. Demands? Of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted a schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. And this I bribed one of the workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people. To oppose a priest to lure the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalsha. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence. You could have sought the aid of the immortal flames if you did not. I expect you aren't telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak! The was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell more meat for a score of lifetimes and not see a fraction of the amount you paid me. You sacrificed innocence so you could line your own pockets. Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess in the world's in, then blame yourself or the gods. Not you again. You're the one leaking the immortal flames patrol routes to the enemy as well. Get it out. I know nothing about that, I swear it. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth. But no matter. It won't be time enough to learn the truth. Alness, be a good man and take words of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still out somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Okay. Let's put our gear back on. And as we're going back to the Waking Sands, I'll use my little Waking Sands magic token. Someone, you've got glamour. Hang on. So what's your little quest? No. Oh, right. That's our quest. Alness, how goes it? All's well here, at least on the bookkeeping front anyways. Yeah, this is just... This is the same as... Yeah, same as before. Brent's in. Welcome back, Alness. I'm pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see. You have done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amalsha know the answer. Suffice it to say they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be... I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary new way of a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, now being disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. Serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him to use it and demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found in his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke and the way will become clear. Okay. Over here we go. I did say we wanted to check this guy out. We head up this way. The weirdo of the hills. You're more right than you know. Meet Mutamix bubbly pots. Who is upland that comes to tentering of Mutamix bubbly pots? Fighty Tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, Fighty Tool changes to stony shine. Name of materia. Materia join with other Fighty Tool. Then big eyes. Fighty Tool gains power of airy self. Mutamix is reckoning up that Umplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander bring Fighty Tool to Mutamix, yes? Score! Fighty Tool is unstrong as eating tool. Make good teaching share with power of materia. The materia master. Now eyes of Uplander point at Fighty Tool, yes. Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains power of materia. Fighty Tool reborn. Here, Uplander, take Fighty Tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond. That being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours from someone as would struggle to cut steak to a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia. Uplander best fill brain crace with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mutamix. Oh, Gobby speak, yeah, is so much fun. And we can learn how to extract materia. What would you say if I told you that inanimate objects can possess a soul? They can, believe it or not, but the soul in question is not their own, but that of their owner. Through faithful service, the arms and armor we use come to hold our spiritual energy. Thus do we form a spirit bond with them. This spiritual energy can be drawn out and converted into materia, a special kind of crystal that can be attached to gear to enhance its properties. I'm well versed in the ways of material extraction. If you wish to learn more about the process, it would be my pleasure to teach you. You're now ready to commence your learning? Good. You've gathered by now materia is a crystallized form of one's spiritual energy. As this energy is derived from individual psyche, of volatile beasts at the best of times, a degree of variance is to be expected in its production. Practice means you won't know what the exact properties of a stone you cradle until you cradle it in your hand. Now, material won't give you much anything on its own. Power must be taxi, and this is attached by melding it to gear. Know, though, that it takes the deft hands of a craftsman to meld materia. You can always seek others to attach the material on your behalf. But if you would sooner do it yourself, I recommend you speak with Chocobos. Melding is her field expertise. Okay. So now we have... Where is it? Materia extraction. And you'll notice that these things we've been wearing all along have been gaining the spirit bond. Interesting that that doesn't gain the spirit bond. But I suppose that's to be expected, given that it's technically not our level. But these have. And from these, we gain materia. Yeah, prayer for all the minds murdered for spirit bonding. You gain spirit bond as you fight or do your crafts, and yeah. So these aren't hugely worth, and honestly at this point in the game, not really worth. Okay, we need to be about level 20 on our crafting, so we need to come back here when we've learnt that. But you know what? Used to be the best way to spirit bond is killing certain enemies for spirit bonding. If enemies self-shroud were very good for that. Let's head back. Yeah, now we can just as we go, we just pop out materia, and if anything, it's, you know, a little bit of extra coinage. Now I understand why lower level materia is in high demand, and it's not just because lower level characters. From what I understand, it's used a lot in the relic quest stuff, relic weapons. That being said, it's still an easy amount of money to make, and you know, even the higher level stuff that's not relevant, it has sell value. I'll give you a hint as to what you can do with it. Welcome back, Alness. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not so easily acquired. One will need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Alness, so make it your ally. And it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you're ready to begin. And okay, I appreciate well, that's not going to be any good. I suppose I might as well just open it. Not like I'm going to be saving it for anything. In fact, we already have one of those. So, can I desynth yet? No. Later. Lord of the Inferno. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Malja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Malja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Malja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. And have you provided to them, Alness? Thancred is presently attending to another matter. We will join you as soon as he is able. Till such time as he does, he will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you. A confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Okay, let's head over. Okay, Uldar. Ifrit. Uldar. Okay, well, bear that one in mind when we're next in town for our job. Oh, wait. There or in here? Ah, you see, Alness Buchan of the Scions. Thanks for coming, friend. We are stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture a Malja and prize them for the whereabouts of abductees. The lizardmen aren't aware that their man Ungust has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of this mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place in the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. Stand to learn much and more of the Malja plot if the mission succeeds, Alness. Let's make sure it does. Okay, you said Invisible City. Like, how am I supposed to meet you there if it's invisible? Hardy, hardy, har. Oh, would you look at that? It's a goat. We know what happens to goats. They become crafting materials. Okay. By which I mean old goat chuck. Which, you know, I suppose for culinarians, the start of a good meal. You're gonna, you know what, punch these weird babies. Ah, that's a thing just to walk in on. Lord of the Inferno. Oh, hi, A rank. Get them if you need them. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We'll make our move as the Malja appear. Yes, sir. Big lads. Ah! What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. And you eluded the immortal flames' clutches for moons before finally being caught. You not wonder how managed it? It was almost as though someone was feeding him information from the inside. Every moment was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I like to chat a while, I've got appointments to keep. They're all yours. Well, time to do what we do best. Your Malja friends will keep you company. Don't be traitors! When I get my hands on you! How long will you last, I wonder? No wave. Stay sharp, men. God damn it. Is there no end to them? The show is only just beginning. Pull up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Oh, so sleepy! Sleepy boy! Bring him. Rest of you, march! Traitorous scum. Now we are in another place. The Amalja mean to give us to their god as an offering. I must die, and let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. The bowl of embers. Let's march us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. They're going to kill us, aren't they? God, I don't want to die. I want to go home. We all saw that, right? Bots are silly. Yes. Listen well. These warts feed into the marshes to dry bone. Shots will see us to freedom. However, we all attempted to flee. We're like to be discovered. You must sneak out and assemble a rescue party. Once you've won free, seek out Comrade's station at Drybone. Show you the way back here. I'll speed your way. This has been claimed they will soon bring us before Ifrit for tempering. You're not seriously considering locking horns with the devil now, are you? Well, okay. I've got an ad break coming up in 3 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to take that ad break now. So, BRB, get up, stretch, hydrate, because we're going to need to hydrate. We're going to need to hydrate for this next one. BRB. And we're back. It's time. Yeah, we're gonna just go into this one with a party. But yeah, apparently these ones are Scion NPCs who will be joining us. Let's register for the Bowl of Embers. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Behold, Ifrit! O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame, and make them as your own. Bloody hells, bring those two as well. What's going on? This isn't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. Souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man. By my breath, I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. O mighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another. Yes, that is the only explanation. If thy mortal frame can serve as a vessel, the blessing of but one. Oh good, you've got lunch, nice. What do you got for lunch? I smell not the taint of another upon thee. Truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed number. The paragons warn thee of abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Oh yeah, like this is a big question. So what are we? Anyway, it's time to fight the Ifrit. What are we in? What is Hyderlin? That is a good question. as you notice, he's just sending out lots of big explosions. Surrender themselves to the flares of judgment. As our country says, there's a power in this nail that we might not want to let gather. Thy soul shall burn for eternity. It's hellfire. Thou art strong, mortal. Let's not be there. Or there. I think we're going for our limit break. So not likely to get the full one. Ooh. Crystal, you say? Notice we're not actually touching it. Pray forgive my lateness. You've come at... Well, I mean, don't mind us, we just defeated a god. I'm still aided by a congregation of Malja zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot! Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I expect from the famed general's hand-picked men. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. Feel I owe you an apology, Alness. I know this mission would prove so dangerous. I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given the veritable baptism of fire. Let's continue the conversation in more agreeable surroundings. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir! So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I anticipated, even taking all darn interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Olivia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Nor there was aught worth a damn for it to read. But I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by the adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps that's a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I need to be on my best behavior. And that is your first trial. So, smaller in scope than normal trials. Ah, there you are, Alness. Come rest a while. You have no better opportunity. After witnessing the gods' ignominious defeat, the Magi are less inclined to risk our wrath. But for a time, at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologising. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived far too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body. The same cannot be said of their minds. But once a man is tempered... Ah, but it still suits me to dwell on the negatives. Against all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Alness. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected you may have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. We immortal flames are such need to keep an eye on the Amalja in the region. If you see any, do not draw near. There's a simple grave the Lich-Shard await you. Okay, so pray return with the waking sands. Also, what have you got? Hey there, adventurer. I'm Nedrick Ironheart, an explorer by trade and a scion by allegiance. And you, my friends, look to be an adventurer in need of a challenge. I happen to know just the place that will offer it to you. Tucked away in the corner of Eastern Thanon lands Palatali, and it's there you'll find the excitement you crave. The place boasts of a storied history. It was built 100 years past as a training ground for gladiators. Yeah, I do have to wonder what Thancred thinks he could do if he showed up in time to Ifrit. Yeah, I always found that anyone else fighting the primals is a very risky proposition. Like, you might be able to fight a fight, but then being able to sort of lay claim to your soul is dangerous. The calamity laid ruin to it, though, as it did to most things. Now, Halatali is a shadow of its former self. And the shadow of that, dark as that shadow, lurk wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. Born such as yourself, I dare say there's no finer place than Halatali to test your skill, refine your technique. Indeed, I've taken the liberty of passing your name along to the flames to oversee the place. Should you visit, speak with one Fafajoni near the entranceway. So that's a little side dungeon we can do if we want. Okay, yeah, same thing. Yes, I believe this is where we learn that there's more to tempering than just, you know, shiny flames. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Ifrit told us the news upon his arrival. Apparently sitting in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Alness' life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yet by some miracle he survived. That does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly. I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Alness, it is so good to see you again. I should have been there. I should have been tempered and be useless. I get the feeling like he feels like he should have been able to aid in the fight, even if, you know, we were all rendered helpless and thrown into a trap. You know? Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, but part of me believes I had no cause to fear, and now we can pay to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions, the aim of suffering their primal, Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Uldar. Similar incidents have been rife in both Flimsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious how to these crimes are linked to the primals, and permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air we breathe. Alas, this alone will not sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether. Crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be tracked back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from the followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. Primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence, such as their adherents freely give. And in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, You alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a great power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assure me they will deal with the aftermath. No worries. Thanks for tuning in, and we do not question the giant magical talking rock. Giant magical talking rock comes later. You need not concern yourself with that. You may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Alness. You may be sure it won't last long. Once people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. Flames with whom we were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we will not do this if there were any other recourse. Once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. Very existence leads strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we silence continue our fight, so that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Alness. But I should be going. I offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. It just told the biggest gossip in town. See, I don't think Thancred can keep a secret. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louiswa would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. See, I find this, looking back at the journey to come, I find this actually a really interesting little character for him. Until not so very long ago, he was one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you travelled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Alness, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons! Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have recently acquired a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limpsa the Mincer, to offer said hero a place of honour within our ranks. As you can see, Alness, of your recent exploits have gathered you the attentions of the grand companies of Eorzea. Each organisation would have Ifrit's bane for their own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to elicit a new recruit. What they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I found myself wondering how words of Alness's deeds spread so quickly. The immortal flames would know of his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other grand companies? Your reputation precedes you, Master Buhen. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge a victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the 12's Wood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Buhen. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Malja and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in Uldar. Our people know you and love you well. A man of your talent blooms with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend. Together let us secure a prosperous future for Uldar. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you had the look of an hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It's only natural we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Menthilia. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help you clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organisations empowered to call upon the martial, economic and technological resources of their respective city-states in terms of strife. There are presently 3 such organisations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gradania, and the Immortal Flames of Uldar. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defence and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavours. If you are agonising over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your alliance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I can see that there's no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A nice suggestion. You're indeed wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Alness hear our leader speak and return here with his decision. Eagerly await your answer. I know full well the adventurers by their nature and liberty-loving breed are not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of a great power, Alness, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is one to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you need to be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a grand company... Hold on. In the grand company, however, you will be one man against many, a friend among friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will be the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organisation need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. 12 know that we will have need for it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of the Order as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect you'll be more afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. The Order is changing, Alness, and you have the power to shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. He will praise you where and whence the remembrance services are due to take place. Okay. Let's go speak with Tataru. Oh, you were worried about telling me about the confidential information, but it's Tataru we need to be worried about. Also, anything going on in here? The destruction that visited this land cannot be attributed to the forces of the Empire alone. Worm of midnight, of breath infernal. Some a legend made flesh, others the insidious symbol of memory lost. The grasp of a piece of this puzzle. Much and more must we question and contemplate ere the fallen moon revealeth its myriad secrets. I have heard word of your deeds. I am sparing in my praise, so know that you have truly impressed me. Be that as it may, it is fortunate that Thancred arrived when he did. Had he been but a moment later, I shuddered to think what might have transpired. Everything looks to be in order? Right, on to the next customer. An experienced warrior like Arbor wouldn't die so easily. He's strong, fast, cunning. Aye, he'll come back safe. I must confess, I do rather miss that obnoxious Makota's company. Arbor is taking part in the joint operation with the Immortal Flames. I imagine he's having the time of his life right now. Yeah, sure. Crunch, 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 crunch. Oh, hello again, laddie. Meet Persevanes. We're thick as thieves in the old day. At least I think out he was. But it might be that he was a right creepy bastard and I did my best to avoid him. Still, we're both members of the old order. But either way, we're in this together, eh? But it's all to shame with your recent performance in the field. Come to keep up, I dare say I'll need bigger knives. It's exactly what we need. Big knives. I'm sorry about the attention you're getting, Alness. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to feel too many people. Next time out, be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Guidani's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first 3 services, and Elderseer Canisena will deliver an address at Miketo's amphitheatre. I should probably mention at this point that due to organisational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, possible the order of services might change. So there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next you'll need to go to Uldar, where Flame General Raban Aldin will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumoured that there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Next, last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Insular Minster, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merle Blufferswim will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself as a sentry in Xanthale, and I will admit you. Got that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the member services suitably educational. I suggest visiting city states in my prescribed order though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favour of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Anyway, hint, it doesn't really matter too much where we go first, but let's do the stated order. Oh, it sure is the weather for it. And then, over there.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three Seedseers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hure and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds.
Not so much Green Man, just the elemental.
They were joined by folk of
Get a
all
bit
races.
angry with strangers.
So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is.
And it's those
today.
2 twins again.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hure and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
Uh-huh.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Uh-huh. Well, sounds very important.
5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Carteneau. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the highroads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean
forget how the
Garlean.
I forgot how as they sounded in this bit, and again, I think I very much prefer her later voice actress.
Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity.
Well, there's your sales pitch for the Order of the Twin Adder. Just look how wee they are. I know they're, beans, but still. So small.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service.
It's nothing. It's nothing exceptional. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think the only VA that I prefer from this compared to them going forwards is actually the admirals.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler.
the newer admiral sounds a lot less like a, you know, an admiral pirate queen, and more like, you know, someone from the cast of EastEnders.
You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and wants to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians. Recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed by at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. Yeah. Why am I struggling with Ramu? The Gridanians have no love for war, and they considered open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defence. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, would put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the exile will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and an insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later will come out to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? I don't know why. Later Alpha No is one of the characters I find interesting. I must say I actually really like her character. The voice actors for these two just do not do them a good service. It's the later two voice actors that will make them the characters that they are. Anyway, Uldar. You can take this one for free. Like, they make him sound too smarmy here. When, you know, he's more sheltered. He's very much book smart. Anyway, let's go for the Gridan. No, that's not Gridans, or the Uldans memorial.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanama herself!
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Rauban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ur dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold, where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Uldar!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history
Like,
forgets.
I don't think. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know the Imperial Legion was routed that day, but it was a 0-0 draw in favor of Bahamut.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow...
You know what? Raban goes hard. Raban does not mince words.
Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Uldar stands to fall.
Like, you know, Canny Senna's like, yes, we must act in the means of unity and harmony to all. Where he's like, listen, you motherfuckers.
Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Uldar, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Uldar. As Uldar prospers, so shall her people.
Ja, for Uldar!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Rauban?
Nanamo want uppies.
People of Uldar, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Uldar. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Uldar, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live
Something I remember seeing recently is
Stride fearless into the inferno.
they
We are.
Yoshi P mentioned that the devs are open to having like having a way for Lalafell to ride the other races as mounts. like, you know, like a joint mount sort of thing. And I just love the idea of just like, you know, come on, Lalafell want uppies, Lalafell want uppies. Yeah, Master Blaster, who rules Uldar?
Fancy meeting you again.
Who rules Uldar? Nanamo Raban rule Uldar. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So they have dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames every time he is stoked to life. Yet he is one of several problems. Though they have not been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Uldar has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless. And ever assuming they have the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It's been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition that they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience will be a most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope that the famed general's words struck a chord with you. Alness is not saying much. But yeah, that's Uldar. Let's head to the Miminsa. Also, we're about to have an ad break for those of you who are ad breakers. And I believe it's through here. Here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick, the Admiral's due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Big lady.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Are you okay there, sir?
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Gallian Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano.
Yeah, I love some of the pirate crew names here.
That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom.
Say it like
Much
that.
as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
The fisherman.
Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Gallian Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both.
There's always this feeling that you do not cross the Admiral. The Admiral will have you dead in the ditch.
We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brother.
Oops, sorry.
Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
Yeah, she'll murder you on the
Brothers
spot.
and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral.
Yeah, Admiral Pirate Mom.
Fancy meeting you again.
But would you be surprised? As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa was plagued by 2 beast tribes. First, the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Guardians have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Laminson's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Guardians whet their blades and watch. If the Laminsons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I mark they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere on. A capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Alness, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests at the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here with the Waking Sands, it will not do to keep them waiting in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Please. They're eating us out of house and home. So, pray return to the Waking Sands. Some people let fame swell their heads, but I believe yours will remain in proportion and firmly attached to your body. Don't know what that's supposed to mean. Welcome back, Alness. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you now see why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Alness. Well, thank you for the hydrate. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while? Take a moment to reflect on your decision. Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Oh.
The gods only know what Grand Company our adventurer friend will keep.
Oh, what do you mean, friend?
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies, as though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
And if memory serves me right,
We are to escort you.
this is the last we see of Alness, barring one exception that we might have to work to see if we can do, which is actually kind of a shame that it's actually locked behind some niche content. Right, this guy, get used to seeing this guy.
The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Like, there's a part of me that does feel like I need to work out how we're going to be doing binding coils, because that's actually a really big part of Alness's story progression, and also kind of, I think, a necessary capstone to a lot of the premise of 2.0. But we will get to that when we get to that. Anyway, pirates, forest folk, desert folk. I'm gonna go with the flame officer. There's not a huge story differentiation as to which one you go for, and not until the very end are, I think they will have a different outfit at the very end, but otherwise a lot of the rewards are very much the same. So we're going to go with the Flame Officer, because I've not done the Flames before. I've done the Maelstrom, I've done Grenada. Welcome back, adventurer. I take a General Bard's words. Kindle the fire within you. Join the immortal flames. Excellent. I fear the incident with the traitor may have soured your opinion of us. Glad to see that isn't the case. Before we can count on you as one of our own, must be formally inducted into our ranks. Please proceed to the Hall of Flames and identify yourself to the personnel officer. We'll notify him of your coming. With your strength joined to ours, we shall surely prevail over our enemies, be they beastmen or Imperials. Let's return to Uldar. Almost as though I had this plan. And fortunately, it is just outside of here. What was this? Ill-conceived venture. Several adventurers are having difficulty summoning their retainers. Do you wish to offer to assistance to find these troubled souls in Limsa? How? What was this all about? Oh, these the ventures. I won't do that for just yet, though I will pick that up at some point. Where do these guys keep blindfolds? And how drunk do you need to get? What brings you to the Hall of Flames this evening, adventurer? My name's Alness, I believe you're expecting me. Ah, I thought as much. You are just as a man as waking. You are just as our man in the waiting sands described. It's an honor to meet you, sir. Now, in order to formalize your... Sir! Speak private. Imperial, sir. The final highways, skyways airship. Scout stage is coming down to the west near horizon's edge. Bloody hells. Of all the times for this to happen. Alness, there's no time for formalities. The Immortal Flames need your help now. We're in the midst of a large-scale operation against the Amalja, and we have no one to spare in Western Thanaland. Let's get to that ship before the Guardians do. If there are any survivors, see to it that they do not come to further harm. Now go! Okay, let's head to Horizon. Yeah, it's sadly not going to be one of the fun initiations. And let's get running. Is this... that bridge? Over there. Oh, there's the airship at least. I love those things. Adventurer, what are you doing here, out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. More Flames sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have the uniform. I mean, there's the blindfolds you wanted. You're all right, sir. Our scouts reported the attack on your craft. We've come to rescue you. On the Spuhan, yes. Glad to have you with us. I have not seen a craft of this design before. That traitor Garland has been busy. The secrets of magic tech are ours by right, and not be squandered upon the savages of this land. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. They mean to take the ship back to Castrum Meridianum, along with your friend. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. Nice looking ship, though not the best place to have taken shelter, I agree. First airship we built since the Calamity. First since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. For years of work, she was finally ready for her first flight test. She was soaring, she really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. We attack on my command, kill them quickly and save the Lalafell if possible. Is that clear, Alness? Show them what becomes of those who play with fire. Charge! We're under attack! To arms! In the airship, kill the savages. You know what? What are you doing? Kill them, I said. Where's that bloody vanguard? We need it now. Show them no mercy. Okay. But yeah. Not me, them. As you can see, Guardians love their giant war machines. Listen, listen. This was a compliment. Where are you going? They have not quite worked out all the bugs. Pigs! Wedge, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So how's she look anyway? Auxiliary propeller is a dead loss. I think we can ring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications, we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. Imperials will come looking for their scouts. We can defend this position until the engineers leave. Should go, Alness. You still have unfinished business to attend to at the Hall of Flames. You're not quite one of us yet, though anyone who's seen you in action today would be forgiven for thinking otherwise. I want to say sorry, you know, for calling an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously, though, if it hadn't been for you and the Immortal Flames, lad, see it there, we'd be chained up in the dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge? Thank you. We're very grateful. I do love this incarnation of Biggs and Wedge. It's a nice little series series callback. Anyway, back to the Hall of Flames. We still have our paperwork to do. Welcome back, Alness. Words of your deeds in the field reached me not long ago. Exemplary service. Rest assured that the Garl and Ironworks engineers are fine. They were able to get their vessel back in the air before Imperial reinforcements arrived. Your willingness to assist us on such short notice is to be commended. Clearly, your reputation is well deserved. Now then, I believe we have some unfinished business. Shall we continue from where we left off and induct you into the immortal flames? First off, okay. Are you ready then, Alness? Then let us begin. Alness Buhen, you stand poised to enter a sacred trust. Flames of Uldar burn bright, casting light where there is dark, purging evil wheresoever it lurks. We are ever ready to meet the nation's enemies in battle, be they beastmen, guardians, or worse. What's worse than guardians? Beastmen. And as a word from Flame General Rabar Naldin, would gladly lay down our lives to maintain the peace and prosperity of Uldar. Join our ranks, you must forsake all other nations. Only then may you commit yourself to the fire and be reborn as an immortal flame. Burn as one of us, Alness Buhen, and together we shall chase the darkness from Uldar. We swear an oath to mark this occasion. My sword belongs to Uldar. You don't have swords. You don't have swords. The skills I have now belong to Uldar. Does mean you have to get two? Only if you want one. And Uldar will have need of them in the days ahead. Knowledge and experience of well-travelled adventurers are valuable assets. Very well, he'll resolve his play. Alness Buhen, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Flame Private 3rd Class. Welcome to the Immortal Flames, Private. May you fight to the last for coin and country. Can you hear me, Alness? This is Minfilia. The Office of the Immortal Flames contacted me with news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Buhen. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I'll ask you to pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember that you are now a Flame of Uldar, you are no less a scion. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here who would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. Your presence is required elsewhere. Before you leave, perhaps I could take a moment to speak with Commander Swift. He's not one to see new recruits go to the field unprepared. Yeah. It's less of a secret society, more of a military organisation. Now speak with... Accept the quest, my little Chocobo. The quest must be completed in order to return to the end of the proceed to the end of the main scenario. Oh, of course. So we now have the Grand Companies, which we now collect seals from doing fates and other little bits and pieces. It's just new currency for stuff. But Private Buhen, yes, a master of your time, if you please. If you wish to carry out your duties swiftly, do not. Well, then perhaps you should get yourself a Chocobo. If you're interested, the Immortal Flames will furnish you with one. It's not a complex process, but it does require some paperwork. First, speak with the quartermaster to obtain a Flame Chocobo issuance. You need to exchange company seals in order to do so. Once you've received your issuance, show it to Minigum by the Gate of Nald. He'll be the one to furnish you with a bird. Okay. How many do I need? $200. Okay, So if I do this quest here, I can come back for the birb. So let's just head over. It's just saying the same things. Or to come back for the best birb. Following the calamity, the nation's armed forces are on large-scale restructuring centered upon its grand company. In Gridania, the Order of the Tornado absorbed both the Wood Whalers and the God's Quiver, while the Luminescents enacted a complete merge with the Maelstrom and the Knights of the Barracuda. Uldar is the odd nation now, having made no notable changes to its armed forces. As before, and in the spirit of Sultanate, each entity retains a certain degree of independence. Let me see if I have this right. You're an adventurer who's a scion and a flame? Golly, how do you keep track of everything? Must be fun pairing up with lots of different people, though. Me? I'm always with Papalimo. Come to think of it, why am I always with Papalimo? Oh, I never change either, never change. Tell one of my brothers came from not long ago. I just missed him though. I ain't seen either one of them since Calamity, even though they were still alive. After running into folk who swore they knew me time and again, I reckon they had to be out there somewhere. I've been travelling and peddling in the hopes to find my brothers ever since. See a fellow what looks like me? Let him know that Brennan's looking for him, will ya? Been chatting with Persifans, we both swear there was another member of our crew. We ain't still figured out a way to prove who he was. Just to wait and see. It won't be long till before everyone sees us for the heroes we is. We'll continue to focus our efforts on investigating the primals. The Malcho are not the only tribe who have succeeded in summoning its deity. Fate shall be thy guide. When our purposes become one shall once again shall paths lead us here. Our city of learning is naught but shadows. Ere the light of dawn breaketh, shall we follow whither the sand blows. Oh, I didn't even see you there, Thancred. The incident with the traitor still weighs heavily on everyone's minds, Flame General's most of all. Although he cannot be expected to know what evil lurks in the hearts of every man on whose command, the revelation is nevertheless a devastating blow to his authority. Even so, it warrants saying that you must not let this tragedy colour your opinion of the man. In all my years working with Flame General, I never had reason to doubt his capacity to lead. Welcome back, Alness. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you've wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called me to regale you with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Alness. Now, when we last spoke, I said I wanted to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Tartaru, please show them in. This way, sirs! Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. I don't think I've properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... God's man, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I'm pleased to see that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magic tech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as keepers of this technology. Of course, For this we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given the chance to stand with you and all and fight for the future of this realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. We'll grab this and we'll head back to Uldar.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis, if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us?
I mean, that's why I'm here.
Grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
So, I'm sure it's very, very inconsequential. We notice that Thancred now wearing a little something something. And he seems to be a little more confident now, doesn't he?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Really nice. Yeah, it's a nice little piece of bling. Anyway, that's going to be... We will be picking up on their little thread later, because now we have what we need. We can head back to That was the wrong thing, Al. Going back to Uldar, not the Waking Sands. And then we should have now 300 of the seals. We need to spend 200 of them now. And that will get us Flame Chocobo Assurance. And then head over yonder. The Chocobo Keep. Once bird issued, you say? I need to see your Flame Chocobo issuance. Yes, everything appears to be in order. Moment, please. I'll be right back with your Chocobo. And here he is. The fellow's been in high spirits for the past few bells, and was sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, we want to give your noble steed a name. Where? Right. So, previous Chocobos I have been named Katsu and Shawarma. So, I just wanted you to get the feeling of the names we're going for here. Yeah, pick your favourite item on the menu and give it the bird. Let's see. I tried Goujon? No. Casserole? Tendies? Tenders? Come on, tendies! Tendies nuts! Tendies. Hot sticker. Ooh. See, I was thinking dumpling or gyoza. Gyoza. How does that sound? Yeah, gyoza. I think I'm happy with that. Where? I dare say he likes his name. It's your very own Chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it, and your favourite friend will come bounding to your side. Do forgive him, he doesn't respond when someone in crowded city areas or monster-infested layers. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. Unless he presents you with your Chocobo rider's license, as it's required by law. That concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. So, that is let's use the whistle. Now, when do we get the... No, but now we might be... No, come on. Like I said, I've had 3 Chocobos in this game, and of those 3, all 3 have had these kinds of names. So let's leave town. And also, I might want to just double check my sound settings for one thing. Where is it? Play music when mounted. It's our Chocobo. Da, 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 na, 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 na. This also means, like, this is not the only mount we can have. We can get other mounts, and we will get them over the course of the game, but also, you know, can buy them and whatnot. But yeah, this is what everyone's got. It's a Chocobo. Yeah, it's the iconic. You can't have a Final Fantasy without a Chocobo. How has our... Okay, we've not sold anything yet. Let's... Now, how much are these selling for? Okay, you know what? That's a good chunk of change. Sell that. How much does that cost to buy? Okay, this is something I always find very interesting. You can buy these for that much, 120, 116, or you can just find them on the marketplace for so much more. And I don't ever... Oh no, I might maybe want to keep that. What else have I got on here? That alright. The leather we're keeping. Animal skin, old goat skin, animal sinew, bone chip. Are they required for anything? Okay. That's 10 of these now. Not bother with that. Old goat horns. Okay, people want the horns. Let's give them horns. Get them sold. Right, yeah, people... Wah. Me thinks a little bit of a market manipulation there. Yeah, these are all pretty worthless stuff. But that is going to be it for tonight. So you know what we're going to do. We're going to head back to the Adventurers Guild. No, actually, I'm not going to head back into the Adventurers Guild. So I know what I need to take a picture of before we're finished for tonight. Right? Okay, can I do the group post from here? Can we do emotes from Chocobo back or? Oh, I did not know this. Okay, not all of them. Ah! Pet the Chocobo! Chocobo gets pets. Chocobo gets pets. I can't do that. No. Oh. Okay, actually, I really like. Look at those eyes. Not a single thought in that beaked brain. Actually, what's the other side? No. Yeah. Yeah, let's head back into town, because better to log off in town than outside. But yeah, that's the fun now. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back at this tomorrow. We'll do what we did today. A little bit of time spent on crafting, and then, you know, more of the MSQ. Got fluff in hot air in that thread. Yeah. I don't know how far into our next primal, but certainly it's gonna be some fun. Now, looking Humst is online. Lilith Plus is live. Okay, Lilith Plus is planning on playing some RimWorld, it seems. But while she's getting the RimWorld sorted, because it's a number of mods, she's also watching some cooking videos. So, you know what? Either way, this is relevant to our interests. So let's go and raid Lilith. But as I said, give her a hearty welcome. And I will see you all tomorrow for more until then, have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in, and take care. At some point, I need to get like the little like sleeping noise put on for this screen, especially, you know, the but that's for later.